So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Camilita podcast. This is where you learn to live like a champion. On today's episode, I have got my hero, one of my heroes, right here. That's all I got to say to you. This just the E-Myth Revisited. I have the one and the only Michael Gerber. Let me properly introduce him. Inc. magazine calls him the world's #1 small business guru, the entrepreneurial and small business thought leader who has impacted my life and millions other across the globe, including thousands, hundreds of thousands of companies over his 40-year reign. He is the author of the New York Times bestselling book, 2 consecutive decades, 20 years, The E-Myth Revisited, and 9 other world best-selling ebooks, E-Myth books concerning and really helping entrepreneurs, small business owners to understand entrepreneurship, leadership, and management. I'm not going to go into a lot because I really want to get into this whole brand. So welcome to the Camilita podcast, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Gerber.
Thank you, Camilita. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, look, let me tell you straight away. This book has changed my life. It has transformed my business. It has saved my sanity. It has helped me. Oh my God, you would not believe. Before I read that book, Mr. Gerber, I was like, Lord, somebody need to help me because I am doing 3 businesses. I feel like I'm running 3 jobs and I need a break. Why did you even consider writing this book in the first place?
Well, because I saw the people that I was introduced to consumed, as you've just so eloquently described, by doing it, busy, every single one of whom thought they were starting a business,
yes,
when in fact, all they were really doing was creating a job for themselves. And so this whole solopreneur myth that has been created out on the planet, that it's an idealistic place to be,
yes,
in fact, is living hell. And every single reality that you speak to in every single industry in which it's paramount suffers undeniably from the fact of doing it, busy, building a company that depends upon you. So that's why I wrote the book.
I want to talk a little bit more about that because I think more people, and believe me, let me tell you, I've been recommending this to everybody I know. I'm telling you, like I tell everybody, you need to get this book, right? The danger, and you've seen it, I've seen it, the danger is that the gurus, so-called gurus, will say to them, just keep doing it, keep building, keep doing, keep creating. You got to do this 10 hours a day, 15, 16, 20 hours a day. You got to do it for 18 months and you kill yourself until you drop, kind of thing. Why is that lie perpetrated so much in the I would say in the entrepreneurial world with the so-called, this is how you do it, this is how you're going to get there, this is how you're going to build. But the entrepreneur is crying. I was crying for help and nobody's telling them what to do. Why?
Well, it's simply because it's what everybody wants to hear. So you have to understand everybody's selling what everybody wants to hear. I am the most important part of my business. I am the leader of my business. I am the authority in my business. I am the expert in my field. Yes. I am. When in fact, each and every single one of them are simply speaking about what they have been told works in the world. Where do you think terms like solopreneur come from? Yeah. They're invented for people who want to be glorified for what they have elected to do. I'm simply saying is the counter vigilance that must be and must prevail in the marketplace is to define and describe the absolute disaster that is represented by the way in which all small businesses are started today. Think about it, and just think about it. 70% of all first-year companies fail. 70% go out of business in the first year. 70% go out of business. That's according to the Small Business Administration.
Yeah.
95% will have gone out of business by their 10th anniversary.
Wow.
A 95% failure rate. Now, ask yourself, so why is that? Well, why is that? You will find in the E-Myth Revisited.
Yeah.
Why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it.
Well,
so
okay,
that's the only reason I wrote the book.
Stop right there. There's a quote that I say at the beginning, well, all through the year, but mostly at the beginning of the year. 92% of people never hit their goals and only 8% do. And the reality is because they feel they have to do it on their own. I was one of them, Mr. Gerber. Like I'm the technician, I'm the entrepreneur, I'm talking from your book. I'm everything. Like I'm pretending to be everything. And then I got to the point and I thought, I tell you what, Mr. Gerber, what happens? I got sick. I got ill. And everything stopped. And I realized I am not so good as I think that I am, because nobody is doing anything else and I have stopped and nobody's doing anything. That is not a business. And I thought, what the heck? So I went back and read your book again. And then went and
Camilita, hear me. It's the only outcome that is destined to happen. I got sick. So understand, you just summarized it completely in, I got sick. It's the only way you could stop.
Yeah.
Is to get sick so that you couldn't do it anymore. And thank God you got sick. Because until you came to the place where you couldn't do it anymore, you didn't realize how vulnerable you really were. You got it.
Listen, I tell you, and I sat there and I'm looking at your book. It's there, and I'm watching the book and I'm thinking, I need to pick it up again. Let me read it again. And I read it again and I'm like, fine. I'm gonna hire a manager. Fine, I'm gonna hire a salesperson. Fine, I'm gonna go and hire a marketing person. Fine, and I was thinking, fine. And you know, I realized exactly what you said in this book. When I got those people on board and I understood the hierarchy, that whole system, which I want you to talk about, and I understood the systems, why people need to follow the system, because it works. I had sanity. And they were doing a better job than me.
I had sanity. That's a wonderful expression. I had sanity. Yep.
I had
because
sanity.
The other is insane.
Well, the other is insanity. Let's talk about that whole hierarchy in terms of who people need to have in their business, and without it, they would not have sanity.
Well, let me describe for you the launch of our very first business. And our very first business, I describe it in the E-Myth Revisited, but it was the Michael Thomas Corporation. I was Michael, he was Thomas. And we created the world's very first small business coaching company. Michael Thomas Corporation was focused on 4 very distinct things: a dream, a vision, a purpose, and a mission. I had a dream. My dream was to transform the state of small business worldwide. I had a vision. My vision was to invent the McDonald's of small business development services. I had a purpose. My purpose was that every small business owner on the planet could utilize our methodology and successfully create a company as effective as a McDonald's franchisee.
Right.
And I had a mission, and our mission was to design the business development system upon which our dream, our vision, our purpose, and our mission would depend.
Yes.
So those are the first 4 steps of what I referred to in my later books, Beyond the E-Myth, the evolution of an enterprise,
Yes.
from a company of 1 to a company of 1,000. So you can refer that book, and I don't know if you've read that book yet.
I haven't, but I'm going to get it tonight. Let me tell you.
Good. And let me give you another one to get. In between Revisited and Beyond is Awakening the Entrepreneur Within. Awakening the Entrepreneur Within describes the 4 steps that I just described for you.
Brilliant.
And those 4 steps, Camilita, are actually the 4 personalities of an entrepreneur.
Right.
An entrepreneur is 4 different people: a dreamer, a thinker,
yes,
storyteller, and a leader. The dreamer has a dream. The thinker has a vision.
yes,
The storyteller has a purpose.
yes,
And the leader has a mission. And the dream, the vision, the purpose, and the mission establish the platform
right,
upon which to design, build, launch, and grow a growing company. So a great growing company is 4 things. Follow me. A job, a practice, a business, an enterprise. A dream, a vision, a purpose, a mission, a job, a practice, a business, an enterprise. The 8-fold path. So when you read Beyond the E-Myth,
yes,
you will be introduced to the 8-fold path. Read those, you'll get those, and you'll immediately comprehend the unequivocally, absolutely, certainly position of 8 steps that are required to design, build, launch, and grow a great growing company.
But, okay, hold on. Why then, right? Why then? This is not being taught, obviously, we know that. People are studying entrepreneurship as a course in university, okay? Entrepreneurs are sort of going into courses, training sessions, the list is endless. People are not talking about it like this. They're telling the one person that's in the front of their face, go and do this, and this person thinking, well, what the heck? I don't know how to do marketing. I don't know how to do this. I can't, answer the phone. I'm running myself ragged. Why isn't people talking about this whole system? Listen, I tell you.
Well, people are. I am.
You are. You are.
So don't ask me why nobody else is.
Gosh.
The world is populated by fools. So hear me. What can I tell you? There are a world of foolish people doing it. Busy. Why do you think that 95% of all small businesses fail before they reach their 10th anniversary?
All right, Mr. Gerber, answer me this question, right? And I want you to answer it because you said it in the book, okay? I want you to answer this. The premise for small businesses, I don't have money, so I can't hire anybody. I am not making enough money to pay myself. How am I going to pay somebody else? What would you say? What is the answer? I know it's in the book. Tell us what's the answer.
Well, I didn't have the money either. You understand? I didn't have the money either. When we started the Michael Thomas Corporation, it was just Tom and me. Wow. We didn't have any money. All we had was an idea. We had a dream, a vision, a purpose, and a mission. We had an idea. We were going to create the world's very first business development firm for small businesses. Yes. Small businesses, meaning companies of 1, meaning a guy with 2 people, a guy all by himself, a woman who's trying it out of her kitchen, out of her garage, doing it. We didn't have any money either. So what did we do? Our very first people were straight commission salespeople. They got paid by selling. That's the only way they earned what they needed to be paid, by selling. I love that. Our very first coaches were independent contractors on commission. They earned by delivering. Yes. They earned by delivering. In short, we got paid, they got paid. We got paid, they got paid. How in the world do you think anybody does anything. We got paid, they got paid. We got paid, they got paid. That's how we did it.
So it's creating a system that's a win-win for you and your potential customers and or clients.
Of course. It's the only way in the world you can expect to do it. So we started with nothing to create something. And that something we created something more. And that something more we created something more. So effectively, we created a great growing company by following the lessons we wrote about in the book that you just read. Now, understand,
my husband would love you. My husband would love you.
You understand the book that you've read is simply the history of how we did it ourselves. It wasn't just something we made up out of whole cloth. It was something we designed by starting it out in 1977, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and then the book, 86.
What would you say then was the driving force? I'm laughing because I would ask you, what would you say then was the driving force behind you having to be ingenious and think of ways in order to grow? Was it because you had no money and you had to find ways?
No, the driving force was the idea of it. The driving force was the idea of it. I was mad about the idea of it.
Right.
When I was asked to meet with Bob, the very first small business owner I ever met.
Yes.
I was asked to meet with Bob by my brother-in-law, who owned an advertising agency. And he said this particular client of his wasn't able to convert the leads my brother-in-law's ad agency was creating into sales.
Right.
So would you meet with Bob and see what we can do to change that problem? Well, I don't know anything about business, I said to my brother-in-law. I don't know anything about high tech, I said to my brother-in-law. He said, don't worry, you know more than you think you do. Just meet with him and let's see what happens. So I met with Bob. And I started out that meeting with Bob with the assumption that I don't know anything about business. And Bob owns one, so he does.
Right.
And then I started to ask Bob all the questions that I had to ask to find out what he knew. And what I discovered is he didn't know anything about business. But what I also discovered is I did. I discovered that selling is a system.
Yes.
But you got to understand, I'd learned that selling is a system when I learned how to sell encyclopedias. I learned that selling is a system when I learned how to sell insurance. I learned that selling is a system by learning how to sell systemically. And applying it and applying it and applying it and applying it and successfully becoming expert at the use of that system. So when I met with Bob, I discovered Bob didn't know what a selling system was. And so there was my very first client. Bob hired me to create a selling system for him.
Amazing.
That was the beginning of eMyth.
Wow.
That was the beginning of this entire process.
Wow.
Working with Bob to go to work on Bob's business to create a selling system. But when I did that, I discovered also that Bob didn't have a management system either. Bob didn't have a marketing system either. Bob didn't have a lead generation system either. Bob didn't have a lead conversion system either. Bob didn't have a financial system either. In short, I discovered the eMyth by doing it. You got it.
Love it. Bob, he owes you one, let me tell you, or more than one.
You can thank Bob for the book.
So, so you then sort of develop this whole brand around these systems. And then then obviously you realized, well, if Bob has the same need, there's 1,000 other people have.
But hear me, Camilita, let me stop you right there. When you say that I developed this whole brand around the system, that's not true.
Tell me.
I developed the brand around the idea.
The idea.
Understand, the idea is everything. The idea is everything. The systems were the product of the idea. In short, going to work on Bob's company,
Yes.
discovering the absence of a system,
Yes.
simply was created by the idea that Bob wasn't an entrepreneur in the first place. Bob was simply a technician doing it, busy, 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 busy. I discovered what was missing in Bob's business was an idea for Bob's business that could succeed to create a great growing company, whether Bob was there or not.
And that is what I got from that book, being able to have a system without me being there and it being successful. That is what I got from that book. Yeah. And that's what I'm getting still. I'm going to get the other ones tonight, let me tell you. But for me, I just, okay, so the idea, let's come back to that. So that idea helped you to create the system because the idea was there. So the idea then helped you create the system, which was then duplicatable for every other small business that you came across after that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it continually was improved. It was improved. It was improved. It was improved. How we did it was improved. But the idea became much more visceral. So when I speak about the idea of the E-Myth, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it, when I discovered what was missing in every single small business on the planet, and that was what was missing was a true entrepreneur at the helm of that small business. When I discovered the absence of the entrepreneur and the significance of that, and the idea of the business that was absolutely destroying every small business on the planet, because they were started wrong. They were started wrong. They were started with a wrong idea. They were started for the wrong reason. And because of that, they just kept on doing it, busy, like you were saying, until you got sick and you couldn't do it anymore. And then you picked up the book and you said, I've got to do this book.
I'm gonna read it again.
Yes. I got to do this book. I can't just read this book.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I got to do this book in my business.
You know, and I want to talk about that just right there. It's one thing to read the book. There's another thing to do the book.
Yes.
When I started doing the book, yes, it was scary at first because I'm thinking, oh my God, all of these people coming into my business, are they going to try to change things? Are they going to try to put in their own, you know, what do I need? But then I came back to the book and the book, and I'm listening to you in my head. You are not the technician. You are not the technician. You are the entrepreneur. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not a technician. Fine. I'm not a technician. You are not the marketer. You are the entrepreneur. I'm like, but I've always been marketing. No, but Mr. Gerber says you are not the marketer. You are the entrepreneur. Fine, hire a marketer. And I'm like, okay, fine. So every single time I had a roadblock, you were in my head. You were literally in my head. Every time I hit a roadblock, you were in my head. You are Wonderful. The entrepreneur. You are not the technician. You are not this one. You're not that one.
Wonderful. That is the most critical thing to occur, that I was in your head. That it was in your head speaking to you. I was speaking to you in your head every time you started to make a decision that was contradictory to the path you needed to be on.
Correct.
And in the E-Myth Revisited, I define a path. And the first step in the path is your primary aim.
Yes.
And so therefore, the first thing one needs to do, instead of just reading the E-Myth Revisited, to do the E-Myth Revisited, was to determine what your primary aim is. And so most people don't do that. They sort of just skip over that because, well, that's just stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't. But if you don't have a primary aim for your life, not a primary aim for your business, a primary aim for your life, you miss the whole point.
Hold on. I want to talk about that because we run a business so that we can have a better standard of living. We can have a better life. But then the business ends up taking over and it's as if we're working for the business, not working to have a better life. You're telling me the primary aim should be to have a better life, not a better business first.
Yes, well, read the chapter on primary aim. It precedes your business. It's not what you create after you start your business. It's what you presume to be most important before you create a business. So it precedes the strategic objective. Yeah. The strategic objective is the, in quotes, primary aim for your business.
Yeah.
Your primary aim is the purpose of your life. So my life's aim, that's your primary aim. My life's aim, not my business's aim, my life's aim. What is your life's aim? So you understand, to the degree you fail to do that, you fail to even create a life. Your business becomes your life. And when your business becomes your life, you've completely absented yourself from your life. You're being run by your business. Your business succeeds or fails. Your life succeeds or fails right along with your business. Your life is apart from your business. It has nothing to do with your business. Your business is a product of your life rather than your life being a product of your business.
Say it again. So
your life, your business is a product of your life rather than your life being a product of your business. So I need to ask Camilita, so Camilita, who are you? Why are you here on this planet? What were you born to do here on this planet? Who are you going to become on this planet? And you need to begin to describe that life, that woman.
Yes.
That Camilita.
Yes.
That child of God.
Yes.
That Camilita. Who are you, Camilita? Apart from the business. And that is a very difficult thing to do.
It is. It is.
Because it's so difficult to separate yourself from your business and to think of your life as the main aim of yourself being here.
I tell you what, that right there, just that right there, I think entrepreneurs being able to just understand. And I teach this to my clients. I say it's God first, family second, business third. Before the book, I didn't fully live it, let me tell you now.
Yes.
But that is the reality, because it has to have things in perspective. And when after reading it the first time, gradually I started thinking, okay, it is God first, family second, business third. I need to have this in perspective. But I didn't change with the principles. It is when I got sick that I changed with the principles and started actually implementing, allowing the idea, what sort of my business idea, then find the systems to support that idea, and then sort of improve, as you say, as you did with yours. But prior to that, didn't happen.
Yes, but hear me, Camilita. Even then, I'm going to pick up the book because you picked it up, and I have one right here. But even then, when you began to implement the book, you keep on talking about systems.
Yes.
We don't get to systems until way, 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 way later on in the book. You don't get to systems until way, way later on in the book. So let's look at, I'm going to open this to the chapters.
Yes.
We go through the first 6 chapters. The first chapter is the E-myth in American small business. The second, chapter 1 is the entrepreneurial myth. Chapter 2 is the entrepreneur, the manager, the technician. Chapter 3, infancy, the technician's phrase. Chapter 4, adolescence, getting some help. Chapter 5, beyond the comfort zone. Chapter 6, maturity and the entrepreneurial perspective. We get to part 2 of the book now, the turnkey revolution. Chapter 7 is the turnkey revolution. Chapter 8, the franchise prototype. Chapter 9, working on your business, not in it. Now we get to part 3 of the business, building a small business that works. Chapter 10 is the business development process. Chapter 11, your business development program. And it's not until chapter 12 do we get to step 1 in the process. Step 1 in the process is your primary aim.
Yeah.
Step 2 in the process is your strategic objective. Step 3 in the process is your organizational strategy. Step 3 in the process is your management strategy. Step 4 in the process is your people strategy. Step 6 in the process is your marketing strategy.
Yep.
Step 7 in the process, this is chapter 18, before the end of the book, is your systems strategy. So you're talking systems at the very outset, and I'm not talking systems until chapter 18, part 3 of the freaking book.
All right, let's talk about that then. All of those things that you mentioned in the middle, right?
What?
All of those chapters that you've mentioned, forget about it, sort of chapter 18, the last one. All of those chapters that you've mentioned, working, sort of not working in the business, but on the business. The turnkey revolution. Then
it's the idea
maturity,
that I spoke about.
Yeah, maturity and the entrepreneur, all of that. Your business development program, sort of the whole sort of franchise, or that sort of model. Explain. I know you've got a program that you that I saw on your website and that I spoke to Delia about. Tell us about, because I'm going to systems because I want to get the systems. Tell us, how can somebody learn all of that process and that system through this new program that you've developed?
Well, it's very, very simple. It's a 8-step path. So hear me, in the book, Beyond the E-Myth, the evolution of an enterprise from a company of 1 to a company of 1,000. I walk my reader through an 8-fold path. And that 8-fold path is, okay, you want to do the E-Myth. You want to do what I've described in the E-Myth Revisited.
Yes.
You want to do what I describe in Awakening the Entrepreneur Within.
Yes.
You want to go to work on your business as opposed to just in your business.
Correct.
So let's do exactly that. The first step is to create a dream. So in my case, in 1977, I had a dream. And I stated my dream to transform the state of small business worldwide. That was the dream at the heart of my entire world of companies.
Right.
From the Michael Thomas Corporation to Gerber Business Development Corporation, to the E-Myth Academy, to E-Myth Worldwide, to Michael E. Gerber Companies. If you follow the evolution of our enterprise over these past 40 plus years, you'll find that dream is intact. To transform the state of small business worldwide, that's the business and why we've been in this business all this time. My vision was to invent the McDonald's of small business development services.
Yes.
And so we have been pursuing the creation of the McDonald's of small business development services. Our purpose was to transform the state of small business worldwide. Every small business owner can be successful using our methodology.
Yes.
Just as you, Camilita, just as every single one of the people you work with, every client you will ever develop over the years can in fact become as successful as a McDonald's franchisee, or some of you as successful as McDonald's itself. I call McDonald's the most successful small business in the world. Think about that.
Yes.
The most successful small business in the world. He created one store, and he's replicated that store close to 40,000 times worldwide. Replicated that exact store almost 40,000 times. Think about that. And our mission was to design the business development system that would make it possible to do that. So I'm simply saying the first 4 steps in the 8-fold path is for Camilita to determine your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. Your 5th step is called the job. And the job is your client fulfillment system.
Of course.
That is what you're selling.
Yeah.
That's your product. That's your service.
Yeah.
In business number 1, in business number 2, in business number 3, whatever the hell, it is your client fulfillment system. Your next step is called the practice. And the practice is a 3-legged stool. It's your lead generation system, your lead conversion system, and your client fulfillment system. That's your franchise prototype. You got it?
Yep, got it.
The 3-legged stool. You got to go to work on your practice to design your lead generation, lead conversion, and client fulfillment systems.
Indeed.
And they are your franchise prototype. And now we're going to go to work and create your business. So understand, we've been building your business from your dream, your vision, your purpose, your mission, your job, and your practice.
Indeed.
And your business is nothing other than up to 7 turnkey practices. So think about it. In our case, 7 E-Myth consultants.
Right.
Turnkey. Our E-Myth consultant does the E-Myth consultancy work using the E-Myth consultancy system.
Indeed.
Consultant number 1 uses it, consultant number 2 uses it, consultant number 3 uses it, at 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, plus a turnkey management system. So our very first business prototype comprises 7 turnkey practices, plus a turnkey management system. You got it?
Yep, got it.
Now I'm going to replicate the business 7 times to create an enterprise. The enterprise is nothing other than a turnkey business times 7, which is 7 times 7 practices, 49 practices.
Yep.
Plus a turnkey leadership system. Leadership management, leadership management, leadership management. Turnkey, turnkey, turnkey. This is how we lead here. This is how we manage here.
I love it.
This is how we grow here.
I love it. I love it.
You got it. Turnkey, just like McDonald's. That's your job.
Oh, I love it.
That's your job. Camilita, when you get this and you internalize this, and I'll be speaking in your head every single step of the way as we're doing that. As we're doing that, I'm inspiring your mind to go to work on your enterprise, to transform the world around you in a way that no one else has ever done.
I mean, I can understand why you've been so successful at this for so long. Because these systems, as you improved on them, but they are, this is the bedrock. This is the foundation. Regardless, from since the richest man in Babylon until now, this is the system. Regardless of regardless of what's going on in the global economy or what's happening in people's businesses, this is the system.
This is how to do it. Period. Universally. Understand, every single person on the planet, the 7 billion of us on the planet, can go to work on their lives and transform their lives spiritually, emotionally, relationally, economically, in order to transform their presence on this planet. Born in the image of God, born to create a world fit for God. That's the premise upon which all of this has been built.
I tell you, I'm hearing your voice and I'm hearing a preacher. I'm saying, where's the preacher? I almost said a praise the Lord just now. I almost said a praise the Lord. I had to hold myself back.
No.
But this is so how can people get this system? People that are listening and people that I'm going to share this with, and my God, I'm going to share this. Like everybody.
Read the book, and hear me. You can become a sponsor of the new dreaming room. The new dreaming room, Camilita. You got to become a sponsor of the new dreaming room. And that means you take the new dreaming room out to every single person you speak to, and you say, to get this, you've got to discover your own dream, your own vision, your own purpose, your own mission. And I will walk people through that process in the new dreaming room. All you need to do is to partner with us to do that. We will share the revenue from that equally, 50-50, in the process of inspiring every single person you know or talk to awaken the new entrepreneur within them, the creator within them, the imagineer within them. That's how we do that. And then to join us in what we call Radical You. And Radical You is our entrepreneurial development school.
All right. You know, I tell you what, this is so good. I love you. Love you. I love you. I launched Event of Champions 5 years ago. Okay, obviously we had pandemic and stuff in between, but my heart is to see entrepreneurs win, whether they are small or medium sized, whether their business have done 100 grand.
I'm going to ask you to change something. Don't call them entrepreneurs anymore. They are not.
Yeah.
They are small business owners. That's the E-myth. They are not entrepreneurs. If they were entrepreneurs, they would be in a completely different place than they are. They're small business owners. They're technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure. They're not entrepreneurs. So think about them as small business owners who need to awaken the new entrepreneur within them.
Yeah.
And the more you begin to do that, the more you'll be able to communicate that to them.
Yeah.
Because the difference is the difference between night and day.
I mean, and you're right, because the fact that they're coming, it is because they have a need.
Yes, they have a need. They're hurting, they're in pain, they're lost, they're confused, they're overworked, they're underperforming, they don't know how to become, and they're looking at everybody who's motivating. Just get better.
Buy this course, join this program, do a launch, do a this, do a that, and you'll make millions and everybody will be happy.
More of the same. We can't get them there by fixing a broken business.
Agreed. That is 100% agreed. 100% agreed. Well, I want to share. I can't wait to share this information with my team, with everybody that I connect with. I'm going to be sharing this. I mean, I share the book to everybody. But this system, this whole 8-step father sponsor program, this Radical You program, entrepreneurial school, I want to be able, and I spoke with Delia, so we'll talk a bit more. I'll talk a bit more with her, how to share this to the world, because
wonderful.
They are hurting.
Connect with the gentleman who connected you with me.
I will.
Jordan at michaelegerbercompanies.com. Speak to Jordan about it. Jordan will set you up to be a sponsor, and then he'll schedule another conversation between us.
Yes.
Off your podcast.
Of course.
So you can get better connected with what it is.
But it's good that we're sharing it here because people are hearing it. It's good for sharing it here. One last question, Mr. Gerber. I tell you, this has really given me a kick up the assets today. It really has. Because wonderful. I am at that point now of expansion, like hugely expansion. I'm at that point. I've just increased my property portfolio hugely. I've just hired a whole lot of people, and I'm at that cusp of expansion. So I need more of this this is a right now moment for me. Right now moment.
Got it.
For people that are listening and they're like, okay, I'm not where Camilita is at, or I'm not where Mr. Gerber is at, but I need the help. Who should they reach out to if they want to work with you, or they want to, obviously they want to get the books and get it all over, or they can get it all over Amazon?
We're going to send you a landing page for the new Dreaming Room.
Good.
That's where they reach out, like that.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And just get help. Look, I cannot thank you enough. I thank God, but I cannot thank you enough for just being obedient and writing that book.
I thank God for the privilege, just as you have. And we both do, and we both know, and that's why we're here.
Indeed, indeed. I'll tell you, it's just been an awesome time speaking with you. I feel like I'm speaking to a friend. I feel like I'm speaking to a coach who's going to give me a right kick on the backside. Come on, get it done. But I'm also speaking to somebody who genuinely cares for small businesses. I can feel your heart, that you genuinely care. This is not a sales pitch for you. You actually really want small businesses to not hurt, to not go through the mess, because they don't know what they don't know, and and they just need some help. So
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, my delight, Camilita. I've just celebrated on June 20th this year, my 85th anniversary.
You don't look 85.
Yeah, well, I am 85,
Gosh.
so I'm going on 86. So understand, this is not a sales pitch.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
I've lived my life with this. This is our legacy. This is what we're here to do in our lives. And you're here to do that as well. And you can become someone who moves it deeper and further and farther along by simply excelling by the very nature of it. So your energy is here to propel it forward. And you can bring that forward because you can trust it, because you know the impact it's had on you.
It's had in my life. It's having now. Like, I'm hiring more people and I'm going back to read. So,
okay.
Thank you. On
My delight.
behalf of me and every